There's an awesome movie, if we can talk about fiction for a moment,
Sure.
called Body of Lies with Leo DiCaprio. I don't know if you ever saw
I know
it.
that movie.
It's really nice. And the guy who plays the chief of Jordanian intelligence gets one of the members of Al-Qaeda, a low-level guy, but he's placed within the organization, and takes him out into the middle of the desert and just scares the hell out of him, takes the bag off of his face and tells him, I want you to know that I found your mother. I've got your mother, and you want to call her because we've just put her up in a very nice apartment. She's getting the doctors that she needs. And I know you know, he didn't even have to say it, but he's saying, you cooperate with us and your mother's going to be fine. You don't cooperate with us, things are going to go in a different way. And he didn't even have to say these things out loud. It was just totally understood. And then he owned that asset inside of Al-Qaeda. That's in a movie, but that is a very nice illustration of how coercion with family can work.
Yeah, and we do use it. I mean, there's been some reported uses of that during the post 9/11 effort. I can talk a little bit about that. I never believed in torture. I was never in copper green, just saying. But I know people who did that stuff, and I don't think it got them what they wanted. But we could talk about that another day.
We used it with Ames. We used it to great effect with Aldrich Ames. So after he was arrested, and his wife was going to be arrested as well, and she was arrested, and they had a very young son. And the message given to Ames was, you can confess and cooperate and tell us everything, and we'll go very easy on your wife so she can leave the country and take your son and raise him in Colombia. Or we can prosecute both of you, and you'll both go to prison, and your son will go into foster care, and you'll never see him again. And that's coercion, and it works.
Well, we did it in Dark So you probably haven't read it, but if you read the chapter on our interrogation of an enabler in Iran, he was the IRGC, and basically he was a U.S. citizen, and we basically used coercion on him, saying, "Look, you don't cooperate, we're going to send you to Gitmo," which is true. We were prepared to do it. By the way, this was early in Afghanistan, so we had very few rules of engagement. And the answer is, if the guy's listening, yes, we were going to send you to Gitmo. Just saying, it's like we weren't bluffing, but he cooperated. So just saying. So it was good news for him. He got to go home. But coercion does work. It's an effective tool. I'm not going to say I didn't use it because I have.
Sometimes the coercion can sneak up on you. You can fall into it by accident. So the case of one of my favorite cases to present on this is Sergeant Clayton Longtree, the Marine Corps security guard. He was at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, 84 to 86. And somewhere in 85, late 85, fall 85, he met a beautiful Soviet woman who was employed as a typist in the embassy or an administrative assistant or something. And of course, she smiled at him, and they struck up a relationship. I always tell students, especially in the military, look, if the most beautiful woman in the world is staring at you from across the room and winking her eye, it's too good to be true. You should, it doesn't happen that way in real life. Anyway, he got into a relationship with her, and a few weeks into it, she introduced him to her uncle, Uncle Sasha.
Oh yeah, I know it works.
And Uncle Sasha really, really loves America. He would love to get into the U.S. Embassy at night and just look around because he just loves your country. And Longtree says, well, those are against the rules. I'm not allowed to do that. And then she says, don't you love me? I thought you loved me. And he says, oh, okay, sure. And so then they got him. And how did they get him? Because they had evidence that he let them in the first night. And then they could just tell him, look, we've got evidence. You're going to get in trouble if your superiors find out about this. So you keep cooperating with us, and we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And so it works that way, too.
Well, that brings it to the next one we want to talk about is ego, because obviously initially it was his ego that they played on. It's like, oh, I'm a hot guy. That's a hot chick. That's for me.
Yeah.
And then of course, hey, you've got this great access. We love you. We love you. You got to help get us in.
If you like that clip, there's more. There's always more on ColonelTonyShaffer.com. Go sign up. Get all of our exclusive content and deep dives and conversations. We'll be doing a lot more. We'll be having great guests. You'll want to be there for all of it. So again, ColonelTonyShaffer.com. Sign up today, and you will be an exclusive member in an exclusive circle.